Mike Sanderson along with Hub City Young Professionals. It's Patrick Richard and Jennifer Henry joining us. They have been very big on the social medias about connecting young professionals together. We're going to talk to them for the next little bit about that. So Patrick, Jennifer, thanks you so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks for having us.
So what was the inspiration behind this? Why are we having young professionals band together in the Hub City? What brought this up?
Well, both in our real jobs, we attend multiple events or different events around the city, and just found that not a lot of young people at the events, or not a lot of young people willing to network or get out and stuff. So we thought that we would do events specifically for them, get them out and networking and meeting different people, and yeah, that's pretty much
That's kind of where it came from.
Yeah,
you said a year in May, you guys will be together, having brought all this kind of together.
Yep.
What did the organization look like? Because it's kind of simple to create a Facebook group, but what really brought it all together?
Our structure?
Yeah, sure.
So we meet at the workspace in Moncton once bi-weekly. We have a board. It consists of how many members now? 8?
We're 11.
11 members from very diverse fields. And we kind of get together and discuss events, what we could do to raise money. One important thing to know is that we don't charge membership fees to be a part of our group, and we do it all voluntarily, so it's not a big money-making business. So we brainstorm ideas about how to get fundraising, how to book venues, and then how to, I guess, promote all of the events. There's a lot, like you said, in both of our roles, we do a lot of networking. There's the business after hours, there's the cyber socials, there's the Rotary groups, and there's a lot of great, I guess, networking opportunities in Moncton, but they all have kind of a niche audience, and we wanted to create, or I guess Pat wanted to create, a kind of niche place for young budding professionals in the beginning of their careers. People that are kind of entering into a new career or a new profession or a new entrepreneurial adventure, I guess, so.
Right, so this is kind of like taking all the resources available, consolidating it into one nice, neat package, and then putting it all kind of together, kind of.
I think as a younger person, we underestimate the networks that we actually have. When I started my job, one of the first things they asked is, okay, how will you be able to connect to the community? And I was thinking, oh, I just graduated from university. I don't really know anything about anybody. But then as I went to these networking events, I realized, oh, so-and-so that I graduated with is an engineer, and so-and-so is an architect. And this is a really good way for the younger generation or the new professionals to kind of get together and build on existing networks that they would have had in school, but now these people are working in careers. So it's a good way to kind of discover where everybody's at today. And I guess build on that network.
Right, so we have both of you here, Pat and Jennifer. What do you both kind of do? We mentioned young professionals, but just as an example, what do you guys do?
I'm unemployed. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
I'm actually the human resources manager at Bass Pro Shops in Dieppe. So I'm from the retail world, but also from the HR world. So at start, know a lot of people in those two areas, those fields, but didn't know a whole lot of people in engineering, or didn't know a lawyer or anything like that. So buying your first house, or banking or anything like that, I didn't know where to go. I would use somebody that my parents knew or something like that. So I wanted to build a network where I would help support young professionals that are just looking to get out there and get their own business kind of started. So that's kind of, yeah.
So certainly from the communication side, there's a lot of networking involved with that, just by the definition of the job, but you just thought of putting it all kind of together.
That's right. Yeah, for sure.
And Jennifer, what do you do for, just as an example, what do you do?
As an example, what do I do?
What do you do? What do your days consist of?
Yeah, coffee, my dog and my cat. I work at MAGMA, the Multicultural Association of the Greater Moncton area. Well, it's a non-for-profit. We work as a settlement agency or a service provider for newcomers to the area. The non-for-profit world kind of comes to a crashing end in March, and we kind of bloom in April. So my role has recently changed. I'm now going to be an employer engager. My role will be to go out into the community and kind of connect with employers and get them to buy into the importance of diversifying their staff. I also offer cross-cultural training to employers, community members, newcomers themselves. So I guess my goal in joining this networking group and being a part of it is I want to kind of play my diversity agenda with the new professionals also, as well as the existing professionals, so that Moncton can eventually become a much more inclusive and welcoming area for newcomers.
Right, and a natural extension for you has to, you know, go and engage with these people all the time
Engage with
anyway.
employers, employees, and
Yep. So the idea of this came together. Was it kind of, you mentioned like, well, I don't really know a lawyer, I don't, you know, if I want a doctor or something like that, I don't really know who. Was it more of a personal idea, or was it kind of a professional context kind of thing?
Well, actually, the idea stemmed from a conversation with a certain individual. I actually last May was the mayoral race, and I met with our current mayor, Dawn Arnold, kind of just having a conversation with her about the youth, and kind of just, you know, talked about social media and the importance of it and different things, and we were just kind of having coffee, and she asked me a great question. She said, you know, what do you and your friends like to do when you're not at work? And typical, you know, 25, 26-year-old, you know, like to go out and go to movies and play sports and stuff. But as far as a professional, you know, kind of extension of my role or anything like that, I wasn't really part of any Resurgo clubs or anything like that, or any professional, you know, clubs or groups or anything like that. So kind of just went home and slept on it a little bit, pitched it to one of my coworkers, and she kind of shrugged and said, yeah, it's, you know, it's an okay idea. And then the next day, actually flew into my office, had a logo, a Facebook kind of mission, everything, and it stemmed from there. So at first, yeah, it was kind of just personal in the sense that I wanted to, you know, build a network and then have friends and not necessarily friends, but maybe you know, colleagues and different contacts outside of the HR world and outside of the retail world. But it kind of just grew into this thing now. So it's kind of its own little committee or little group now. So
yeah. So this okay idea, this turned into something pretty big. Yeah,
for sure.
And we've gotten a lot of support from the mayor and even like Riverview and Dieppe, and we've gotten a lot of support and a lot of interest from the municipalities for this. So you can tell that retaining and promoting professional youth in the area is obviously on everybody's radar, which is nice.
And speaking of that, if you're listening right now, there is an event coming up later this month. I believe is at Botsford Station. Porpoise alongside Botsford Bros all going to be there to help support this thing. So tell us a little bit more about that.
Go ahead.
Oh. So I actually did one of my diversity trainings with Alongside in Porpoise recently, and when I walked into the venue, it was so cool. There were like ping pong tables, some bottles of whatever by the sink, coffee stations. Everybody was like, some people were in slippers, there was couches. It was just such a chill kind of area, and you could tell it was a very modern workspace. So instantly I thought it'd be a great venue for Hub City Young to host an event. We've been really lucky so far. All of our events have been free of charge. Nobody's charged us to hold an event. People tend to approach us. We saw so-and-so event and it'd be great if you came to our place. So I asked Alongside if they'd be interested, and all three companies that are under that roof, which is Botsford Bros, Alongside and Porpoise, we're really excited at the idea to host an event. So they'll be talking about what they do collectively, and we'll just kind of have like a meet and greet with some snacks and some beverages, and and do our networking thing.
Right. So it's very chill. You just kind of just go and hang out and talk to all these people.
Yeah. We have speakers. Casual. Yeah, we have speakers typically, but it's usually the host that'll promote whatever they're doing. Yeah.
All right, fair enough. That sounds pretty good. So they can reach you on we mentioned the social medias. You said heavily on Facebook.
Page.
Yeah, the Facebook page. You know, how if people were to go there right now, how often do you update it? What's kind of up there?
Well, we try to promote, you know, as much as we can. You know, a couple of us have access to the page and try to share different things. You know, what's going on in the city or what's going on kind of in the province. We try to share, you know, local success stories or, you know, just anything kind of promote our members as well. So, you know, people that have been there since day one or they've attended, you know, multiple events, you know, we'd like to give them a shout out on our page. We have we have over 1,200 followers, which, you know, it doesn't sound like a crazy number, but when you put together 1,200 young professionals, it makes quite an impact. So, yeah, we have, you know, try to probably post every couple days, keep promoting our events, different things like that. So.
Yeah. Well, and speaking of the name, we may have to go after you, Hub City Now, Hub City
I
Young
know,
Professionals.
are you copyrighted?
Just
I'm, like,
saying. I
nervous.
mean, just saying, you know.